back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my Those Eyeshadows update. I haven't done this in so long, I feel like. It's been such a long time. I filmed my last update ahead of time, ahead of schedule. Obviously you saw it in January, but I filmed it like back in December. So this has been a long time coming. Obviously I have some update to share with you. I was hoping to have a little bit more to share today, but it is still exciting update, so let's get through it. So I have 5 shades rolled into this project. I will be changing that slightly today. I'm gonna start with the shades that I use the least, and then we'll just work our way up to the top. So the first one is the Juvia's Place Rustic Bronze Palette. I only used this shade once, unfortunately, which is this one right here. I don't know, it's just, I think it's conflicting with a few of the other shades that I have in other projects. In particular, the Canyon from Alter Ego. There's a shade that is very similar to this in that palette, and I just haven't been grabbing this one all that much. It's actually been in the project the longest, but I just, yeah, only use it the once this last month or so. Next up, it is a shade in my Colourpop It's My Pleasure, although the shade itself is probably from a different palette, and it is this one here. I used this 3 times, so still not a lot. Definitely not going to get me a pan if I want to hit pan on the Colourpop. That is definitely not gonna happen with just 3 uses. So those 2 are pretty much like the fails. Okay, and then we have a shade in my Odin's Eye Alva palette. This one, I think I just rolled in last update, so it's only been in for just a full month, a little bit more than a month, but a full like sort of update, and it is Baby's Breath. I've been working on that. I used that 3 times since I rolled it in, so I don't think actually it's going to take too long because the shimmers in this palette are pretty soft, and actually I feel like the more you use them, the softer they feel. It's a really beautiful shade though, so I'm excited to keep this in, and all 3 of these shades are really beautiful. It's just I haven't really used them all that much. Okay, next up, I actually hit pan in a shade in my Summer in Saint-Tropez from BH Cosmetics palette. I'm very excited. It was the shade Sand, and it was this shade up here. I decided to roll this in last time, if you recall, because I wanted to keep a matte in because I had all shimmers. And yeah, it's only been in 1 update. I used it 4 times and I hit pan. Now I think because this palette is probably a little bit older now, but the matte shades, at least that one in particular, was very crumbly and just there was a lot of kick up. So even though it was just 4 times, I actually ended up losing a lot of product in the meantime. I did also use quite a big fluffy brush for it because it's basically my skin tone. So that is fun. So now I have 4 pans in this palette, so that is exciting. So this one's going to be rolled out. And then we have our last one, which is in the Aurora Struck from Colourpop. I almost have a pan in this one, which I am shocked about. However, I do think that this shade is either a Super Shock shade or it is a glitter shade, and I'm just very confused about what it is, because if you look at it, it is crazy deep and it is so creamy and soft. I have not been digging in there at all. However, it looks like I just pushed my finger in there and that's where it is at. I did use it only 6 times this month. I still have yet to hit pan, but I am so deep in there. I'm so close. It is actually a really beautiful shade. I know that I dissed this palette so much and I was going to get rid of it. I decided to keep it. And then obviously the shade was rolled in. It's kind of giving me second thoughts now about this palette, I'm not gonna lie. So definitely want to play around a little bit more. I do think that probably these darker tones are not gonna be my preference, but definitely these lighter tones, I think maybe I just dismissed them a little bit too soon. But let me know, this shade is called So Lit. Is that a Super Shock? Because it just seems like a Super Shock, but also kind of a glitter, but also not the same type of glitter formula that I'm used to from Colourpop. So I don't know if it's a new formula from theirs, but it is entirely different to anything I've tried from Colourpop in their actual palettes themselves. So yeah, let me know what it is. But yeah, that's exciting. I thought that I might have 2 pans to share with you this update, but This one, sadly, I still have not hit. However, I am going to be rolling in 2 new shades today because I foresee that I will hit this before the next update, and then I'll just be sitting on 4 shades. So I'd rather roll in a new one ahead of time just to give myself, you know, a little bit more to do because I don't have enough to do as it is. All right, so I have removed a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I have in other projects in my sort of spin wheel now because I don't want to just keep doing it because I know it's kind of annoying, and it's annoying for me to film that too because I'm just sitting here, I'm like, okay, no, I can't use that. Okay, no, I can't use that. So this will be the first shade that I roll in, the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. Okay, so we're gonna roll in the shade from that one. Let's try to pull something new because I recently worked on that just a few months ago. So let's hopefully pick something else. P. Louise Blend Away. I cannot get away from this palette. It came up for my project level up video that I ended up deleting, and now it's here again. All right, 2 really huge palettes. The first one is the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. I did, yeah, just recently work on this, and I feel like, okay, yeah, I feel like there's pretty much only one shade in here that I probably will want to use at the moment and hit pan on and whatnot, and it's most likely going to be this one, which is called Gleam. It is the one that I enjoyed the most when I had this for a No Pan Left Behind. So yeah, I think I'm just going to roll this one in. It is a beautiful sort of lilac, yeah, it's just a beautiful lilac purple with some blue to it. I will swatch everything side by side, but yeah, I'm gonna roll this one in. Beauty Bay is, for me, notoriously easy to hit pan on, so if I can play my cards right, maybe I can have this in just for 1 month and then roll it out. I think that would be great. I don't really know what's going on with my hair. I don't have a fringe, but somehow I woke up with a fringe today, or not woke up, but I did my hair and my hair was just flopping as if it wanted to have a fringe. So I'm allowing it to be the shaggy fringe that it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, everyone has a mind of their own, even my hair, so whatever. And then we have the Blend Away palette from P. Louise. So this is by far my biggest palette that I have in my collection. And boy, am I glad that it wasn't pulled for, you know, a No Pan Left Behind style video. So I can just go in and pick which shade to work on. Now this is going to be tricky because it's such a huge palette and I'm not familiar with all of the shades in this palette. So I might do a little bit of swatching. I might also roll in a matte, although I don't know what they're like. I don't know if they're easy to hit pan on. Oh gosh, no, this one's going to be tricky. I also could just roll in a darker brown because they might be easier to hit pan on because I'd have a smaller brush. I think, I mean, what my gut is telling me is to go for this one, which is called Stick With It. And it is quite a pretty shade. It has like a flip of orange. I mean, I just feel like that is quite pretty and very similar to what I have on my lids today, which is from the Urban Decay Stone Vibes palette. This is the Tiger's Eye shade, and they're quite similar. So there's that. It feels a bit crumbly, which gives me hope that it could be quite easy to hit pan on. And then, let's see, and then we have, I mean, all of these mattes. I think I'm going to avoid a matte, actually. I'm not going to go for a matte because, no, but it's nice to have a matte. No, but I have mattes in other palettes. I don't need a matte for this. Okay, we're going to just do all shimmer. We're going to have a month of all shimmer. I'm going to go with this one because I think it's really beautiful. And I've just decided to go with it. It looks so much like the Urban Decay Tiger's Eye. I tell you what, the P. Louise formula is actually really beautiful. I just hate the packaging and I hate the fact that this palette is so enormous. But I have used this a few times and I think the quality is really nice. So I'm going to be rolling those 2 in. Let me just swatch everything that is still in and then we can see what it all looks like side by side. All right, so that is everything side by side. So this is the Odin's Eye Baby Breath, and then this is the ColourPop So Lit. Juvia's Place, it doesn't have a name. This is the other ColourPop, which I don't recall what the name is. And then this is the P. Louise shade, which I do think is really blinding and stunning. And then this is the Beauty Bay shade. So yeah, still really beautiful colors. Obviously I've just really only rolled out one. I really hope to get the Solit out from ColourPop from the Aurora Struck palette by next time. I definitely think it's only going to have a few more uses on that. And I actually think that I might get lucky with the Beauty Bay one and also this P. Louise, just because of how the formula is. It would be really nice to get the Juvia's Place out just because it's kind of standing out, and it is conflicting with some other projects. It would be really nice to get that one out. It's been in the longest as well. I do quite like this Baby Breath from Odin's Eye. So I don't know, I like it. They're all shimmers though, so I love shimmers, but you know, there's only so many shimmers that you can put on your eye in one day. Otherwise, I mean, I do tend to put a lot of different shimmers on my lids, but you know what I mean. You tend to use a little less of it, although hopefully the shimmers are a little softer, so they will, I don't know, you will hit pan faster. Do you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I'm making sense. Okay, so that is my update for my Pan Nose eyeshadows. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you all next time. Bye!